Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to do a very detailed flip of my A5 planner, which is my home reference binder, budget binder, whatever you want to call it. I feel like this is going to be a long video because I feel like I'm going to go into a lot of detail with a lot of things. So bear with me here. But for me, it's not just like talking about like what everything is and where it's from, but like the systems that I have in place to help me reach goals and be more intentional with our finances and things of that nature. So if you watched my my planner system video that I posted, I think it was New Year's Day. I'll link it in the cards if you haven't seen it. I was in a Filofax Finsbury, but I decided to go with the print impression cover for a couple of reasons. Number one, I like pink, but number two, I store a lot of like loose papers in my budget planner because I do like have like a filing system for like financial stuff that I keep track of for tax purposes and things of that nature. And the pockets in the Filofax Finsbury are super tight. So I wanted something to have like a lot more pockets, and this planner like has like, for example, the big back pocket, and it has like all these like different like slip pockets. So that is the reason why I moved into this one. This is a print impression cover in the classic collection in the color pink, A5 size, and I believe it has 30mm rings. All right, so let's dig in, shall we? And again, this might be a lengthy video. So in the front here, I have it decorated because, I'm sure you guys have noticed that I do, I like the hobby part of planning as well. So like I tend to reach for planners that I think are pretty and that I like the way they look and things of that nature. So I did kind of like do up the front of it yesterday. So I just have like some journaling cards. I think that's from Caffeine and Paper Co. That's from Ollie's Creative Corner. Kubo and Lucy clips here. I think these are like paper clips. I have like a huge box of them. Yeah. That I got from Amazon. I use my fetch points to buy a lot of stuff. And then I have like my finance stickers here. I did have another like sheet of stickers in here, but they were old and they got stuck to this front and they tore up the journaling card. That's also from the Planner Spot. And then that's from Caffeine and Paper Co. And these are Avant Agenda journaling cards. So my first section in here is my schedule section, but I don't plan in this, so I don't schedule stuff in here. So really I just kind of have it as like a front dash to protect things and to clip, journaling cards to, essentially. I have an inbox dash. This is a freebie from EO Edits. The file also has like a tab if you wanted it, but I print the majority of my A5 inserts on pre-cut, pre-punched paper that I purchased from Amazon because I really struggle. Like I have a Rapesco punch and you have to like put it in, then flip it. I struggle to get the holes lined up. So it's just easier for me to print on the pre-cut paper. Makes my life so much easier. But if I jot something down and it's related to like the contents of what's in this planner, I'll just stick it on here. Doesn't happen often, but if it does, I stick it on there. Like here, I mean, I'm constantly like writing notes on like, these are huge sticky notes that I got at a conference. That's where I got my undergrad. But I'm constantly like scribbling notes. Notes are just, I guess for me, I'm a person who, if I write it down, I retain it. So that's why I'm constantly writing. And then I just have like some like noted sticky notes and cloth and paper sticky notes. These are some notes pages. These are a freebie from Brookhaven Prints. And so I just have a few of those. I think they're cute. These actually came out of my academic planner. Actually, this cover was my academic planner. And then since I decided that I could plan for the spring semester and my personal rings, because I'm only taking 2 classes plus my internship, I kind of repurposed some things. A lot of my deco is from CZQ Plans, so unless I say otherwise, it's from CZQ Plans. I no longer have an active code with her shop, but if you check out her Instagram, she does have several PR people, and they all have codes. So just like I said, like to throw in some little pieces of deco, and that's it in that section. So list section is inserts from cloth and paper. This is my recipe section. There's not a ton of recipes in here at the moment because I also have like a mini HP that I keep recipes in, but there is something about certain recipes that like I just, for some reason, they don't stick in my mind. Like this Mongolian chicken that the family loves, these different soups. Like I always have to reference this, and I just, again, I like writing things out, so I'm kind of old school in that I like to have like a recipe portion of my book. I have these like various daily inserts. I don't know why, honestly, because they're undated. I can't bring myself to throw them out. So I just keep them, even though I've never actually planned in A5 rings. I've done a lot of other stuff in A5 rings, well, aside from school stuff. So that's kind of my whole list section is going to be recipes, and I just kind of leave it at that. Project section. So I have like vehicle maintenance logs. These inserts are from SM Plans. I really like them, and I do keep track of all of our vehicles. We have 3. My husband has 2. We're obviously like Honda lovers because everything we have is Honda. But I just I like to keep track and reference like basically like when did I last, type situation. So I have several of those in here just in case. I have a home maintenance log, and it's basically just a piece of Filofax note paper, and I wrote the date, what I did, and estimated cost. I may purchase SM Plans home maintenance log. I'm considering it. So right now it's just on a piece of paper as something to keep track of. And then I have this. I want to say this is either from Puffin Pages or Squizzleberry. I'll double check and link it. But this is a freebie, and this is where like I keep track of like home stuff. So when did I last like change the HVAC filter? This is not accurate, but it is what it is for Maggie's bath. And then when did we last get AC service? Not HVAC filter, but when did they come and service our AC? Right now, there's nothing else that I feel like needs to be tracked. That could change because we do have like some home projects that my husband and I, like we sat down yesterday and made like a list of all the stuff we need to do around the house. We've been in our house for 12 years now. So there's definite like, our house was newly renovated when we got it. So like the house has settled, and we have like some little parts and cracks in the drywall from where the house settled. So, a long time ago, it's a long time coming. But we were young and didn't know, how to do stuff when we bought our house. So, and we really didn't have the money. So now we're kind of saving to do some home maintenance projects. So I have a bunch of these just in case I need them. And then I have this. This is from Cloth and Paper. Don't have a use for that. It's just in here. And then some Filofax pages in case I want to quickly jot some stuff down. So now we're kind of getting to the bread and butter of the A5 ring planner, which is the finance section. So that's Susie Q Plans. This is from Cloth and Paper, as is this. I love the way this looks layered. And that's from Susie as well. So here's what I decided to do for 2022 was I went ahead and I set up the entire year in my budget planner. So I'll show you guys like some filled out inserts and kind of like quickly overview like how I utilize this. I've done a plan with me of this in the past, so I can link that in the cards if you're interested in seeing that, of how like I kind of like plan for each monthly budget. And these dividers are from Susie Q Plans. They're cardstock. Usually I laminate them, but I just didn't feel like it was necessary. So my monthly inserts are from MK Plans and Design. So let me start off by saying like the grid page is designed to be like on the back. However, I wanted to like put the grid on the front so that I could list out like goals or notes or whatever for the month. It's just January kind of took me by surprise. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't as prepared as I had hoped I'd be, like with goals and such. So January is blank. So here's the monthly. It's an undated monthly, but each month is labeled. So I really like that. I think it's cute. So again, MK Plans and Designs. I will link that down below. So basically, and I've explained this before, I'm trying to make sure that I'm explaining this correctly. So my husband and I are each paid bi-weekly. But because of the way our paydays are staggered, we get paid every Friday, basically. And so what I have learned, and this was a whole budget journey, and a lot of like my tools and what like the way I budget is heavily inspired by the Budget Mom. I do a few things differently than her, but heavily inspired by the Budget Mom. So at the start of every month, I set up my calendar here, and I color code bills to each payday. So like, for example, the week we're currently on is this gray color. So anything within this gray color is what bills come out of our paycheck, or what bills I need to pay. Now, sometimes, because like this is a very light week, I went ahead and bumped up like our water bill and our internet bill. And I went ahead and paid them. So as I pay them, I just put a check mark next to it so that I know it's paid. And this is kind of like first step of my budgeting. Then you guys are going to get to see my bills now. Not my income, but my bills. So then I have this monthly, I call it a spending plan, because that's what this is. This is like what I want to spend in a month on our bills and expenses. And these inserts here, the spending plan and the paycheck budget, are a freebie linked in my Instagram bio, A5 size only. So you are more than welcome. Like if you like these inserts, have fun with them. So anyway, basically what I do is for the entire month, like I list out all of our bills, estimated amounts, and then as I pay them, I'll fill in the actual amounts. And then for expenses, I go through and do the same exact thing. And then as the month progresses, like if it's a bill, I just write the amount in, because like I don't pay my mortgage twice a month. I pay it once a month. So once that's paid, but like, for example, like gas, like you don't get gas once in a month and that's it. So I have to have a way of tallying it. So I actually have a Google spreadsheet that I've created. I'll show you guys that at another time, that helps me kind of like keep accountability, because I track every single dollar I spend in my personal rings. If you've watched any of my videos, then you know that that's what I do. So I have like a checkbook register that I keep in my personal ring planner, and every single coming and going of our checking account gets noted in here. So then what I do is every time we're about to get paid, so this is a completed budget. This is December 31st to January 6th. I go through for that payday that week and list out all of our bills, put the budgeted amounts, how much I actually spent. So if it's highlighted green here, that means that we were either on budget or under budget. If it's highlighted in red, we were over budget. So what I'll do is I like to separate bills and expenses, because if I look at this list, I know these are the bills I got to pay. If it's not auto pay, and I don't do auto pay for like my household bills, because I like to like go through the, I don't know, it's a weird thing I have, but I like to go through the act of actually like paying my bills online and seeing the balances go down. It's a thing. And then my notes section, in order to track, because I quit doing the cash envelopes because it was very difficult with the pandemic to like find places that like accepted cash. Like it was like a whole thing at Walmart. Like you'd have to stand in line because the self-checkouts didn't accept cash and all that stuff. So I just went back to using my debit card. So basically what I'll do is I'll list out my categories, and then my note section is designed for me to kind of list out each category. And then as I'm updating my spending, I'm updating my categories. So at the end of the budgeting period, I can like tally it up and put the total in. That's what I do. So this is the week we're currently on. So I've been updating spending, but I need to go through and update these categories here. So I do this every payday, every time we get paid. So I went ahead, like I said, and printed off for the entire year. The only thing I'm going to have to do is like fill in the dates of the months and set up my calendars and all that fun stuff. So this is like the whole system each month. So it's like monthly with the bills, monthly spending plan, paycheck budgets, and then repeat. So I have the entire year in here. And the reason I went ahead and printed the entire year is because as the year toward, like, I guess starting in the fall probably is, I was really busy with work, really busy with school, and budgeting kind of took a back seat. And for me, it was like, oh, I got to print the inserts, or I have to do this. And so I wasn't as adamant about budgeting every Thursday like I have been for the past. I've been doing this method for about 1.5 years now. So I wanted to do everything I could to remove any barriers to ensuring that I budget every week like I'm supposed to, I guess. So if it's already set up, all I have to do is at the beginning of the month is get my budget set. I hope that made sense. So that's why I went ahead and printed out the whole year. I was hard at work on that this weekend. All right, so the next thing I have is, these are Susie Plans dashboards. This is our savings and sinking funds section. So it's pretty self-explanatory. We have an emergency fund. It's a savings account that we keep our, you know, if something was to happen, like our refrigerator went out, we have cash on hand to pay for that. I would like for it to get a little bit larger, which is why I do the $100 a month to contribute to it. But we have a pretty good emergency fund. Sinking funds are, if you're not familiar, it's a term that I wasn't familiar with probably 2.5, 3 years ago, but it is a term that I am very familiar with now, and something that I am very adamant about contributing to. These are our revolving sinking funds here. And there's no like, so basically the premise of a sinking fund, let's get that out the way, is like you save a little bit, like you have a category, like say you're going on vacation and you need to save $1,500 and you have 15 months to save for that vacation. You would put back $100 a month to hit that 15, right? 150? Yeah, $100 a month. Oh my gosh, can't do math. You put back $100 a month for those 15 months to hit your goal. It's like you have a goal and you contribute small amounts to hit that goal. Now I have revolving sinking funds, which means there's no end amount in sight. I did adjust our sinking funds from last year, and I also added home maintenance. So yeah, these are just ongoing that we contribute to on a regular basis. Now I want to share with you guys, this is my sinking fund tracker sheet here. This one, I don't care if you guys can see that one. I'm going to explain that one in a minute. But I just made these in Publisher. I don't think I have these listed as a freebie, but if anyone is interested, happy to add it to my Instagram. But basically what I do is like I track this digitally on my Google Sheets, but I also like to have paper copies of it. So for each category, like I will put like if we contribute or if we withdraw from a sinking fund and for what reason. And then I have like a running balance, just, you know, again, makes my life easy. So that way, like we have a car maintenance sinking fund. So if like I have a blowout, I'm gonna knock on wood, but God forbid, if I have a blowout, I have money put back, to pay for that. Whereas before, if I had a blowout, like a few years, like probably 5 years ago, I would be in a panic checking my bank account to see if I had cash on hand to pay for that. So it's just been a really like helpful tool in preparing for things that we know are going to happen, if that makes sense. Now I'm using this sinking fund. Now you notice that one wasn't, extra debt was not listed here, because in my Hobonichi weeks, you know how they have the My 100 lists, I'm utilizing that as a savings challenge for this year. So it's 100. So basically the premise is twice a week, I will pick like a range of numbers. Like I think yesterday it was like 27 to 55. And I like did a auto-generated number on something I found on Google, and it picked number 55. So I added $55 yesterday to my extra debt sinking fund, because that is my priority at the moment, is to pay off a student loan. So when that bill is due this month, I'm going to take the $69 or however much it is, I'm going to add it to my minimum payment, and that's how much I'm going to pay on that, because my goal is to pay it off by the end of 2022. If I can pay it off before then, fantastic. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. And I pick like random days, like just whenever I feel like doing it. And then in my Hobonichi weeks, which I don't have in front of me, I write the date and what that went towards, and then hit like check it off. So like the first time I contributed was to our home sinking fund because it was new. So I wanted to like get it started, like kickstart it. So whatever our priority is. So anyway, that's what I'm doing with the savings tracker. Good googly moogly, this is going to be a long video. Okay, so that's my finance section. I've also revamped my goals section for this year, because I'm a person who I can list out 20 goals right now that I have for myself. But I want to be mindful of priority goals and things that are extremely important to me, and not just kind of like flounder and like try to do all the things right now. So in order to do that, I felt as though I needed to kind of really like find some worksheets and do some like really like deep like soul searching, digging into really what I want to accomplish like this year, within the next 2 years, and then within the next 5 years. So I have a few different like goal inserts that I'm going to like just kind of go into detail with you guys about. I'm not necessarily going to like just share my goals. And these inserts are blank. I haven't done anything because I wanted to share with you guys kind of what's in here, but I just want to be more intentional and focused and really be mindful about what I'm working on and what I hope to accomplish. So I'll say that. All right, so this was a freebie from My Minimal Planner. She did a 12 Days of Christmas, I believe, on her Instagram where she released like a bunch of dashboards. So I would check that out. This is a freebie from Lulu's Plans. That is too. Infinite Lotus. This vellum is so buttery smooth. And then that's from Susie. So first thing I have in my goals section is my what is required for me to graduate with my master's degree, because I want that in my face, because that's my main goal right now. This is from, is it MK Plans and Designs? Marty Plans on Instagram. It's her shop, but I keep forgetting the name of her. MK Plans and Designs. Yeah, I keep forgetting the name of her shop. I'm sorry, Martina, if you're watching. But Capsule of Thoughts is, I kind of wanted to put my priority goals that I'm working on in this, just so they're in my face when I'm checking this like once a week or so. So I have these inserts, and then I printed the Moxie Life inserts because I hear wonderful things about their goals inserts or their goal planners and all that stuff. So I printed them. If you sign up for, or I signed up last year, I believe, but they have like this Google Drive of freebies. So if you sign up for like their email list, like you have access to these. I think you can print these on letter paper. I just sized them down to A5. I think I printed these on Filofax paper because I ran out of the A5 paper that I had. So here's the compass assessment from Moxie Life. And it just kind of goes through, establishing a starting point, evaluate your life as a whole, embrace growth, and like things you can do to get started. And so you kind of look at the compass, and then you score yourself in these different areas of life based off of the instructions here. And that can help you determine your goals. And then setting goals. What are the 3 types of goals? It goes through stretch goals, progress goals, and maintenance goals. You have an opportunity here to list out your intentions for the year, your word of the year, which I've shared is create. And then here's some things to consider when, writing goals. So like personal, kind of gives you like a list of items: self-worth, confidence, happiness, peace, hobbies, those types of things. And then I printed the weekly I cannot say reflections today. I said it. I printed the weekly reflections just so like I can kind of do this on my own in my journal. So it's just, what were the highlights of the week? How am I feeling? What do I need right now? What's working with my current weekly flow? What's not working? What adjustments need to be made? What am I learning and how am I growing? And what am I most grateful for? So it just kind of helps you through your goal planning process. Then I bought the Goal Maker from Paper Test Designs. So I really like this insert. It's amazing. It's like, honestly, it's a workbook. It's like 30 some odd pages, like 38 pages, I think. So I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible, but basically it kind of like talks about, like welcome to like creating, your goals. And it goes through like, this is kind of what the workbook is going to be about. Like it just tells you like the reason why you're doing this. So you reflect on the past year, define who you are, upgrade your habits, make a vision board, set your goals, break down your goals, review and reflect on your goals, and reward yourself. Then you have like this Q&A section where this is what I like, because I want to dig deep. Like I want to dig deep and think about like what, like if I learned anything in 2020 and 2021 is your time is your most valuable asset. And something for me, and when I say you, I'm talking about me, but do you want to, waste your time on frivolous things or things you don't care about or that are insignificant, or how do you want to spend your time? Like that's my biggest takeaway. So this kind of gives you an opportunity. It has 20 prompts and a space to write down your answers to these prompts. I intentionally have not filled this out because I feel like goal setting is an extremely personal process. So I'm going to sit down this weekend and go through all of these, but you're just going to look back on the last year and answer these prompts. And then looking ahead. So then you're going to sit down and you're going to go through these prompts and write it down. And I thought about getting this for personal size, but I was like, I'm going to need lots of room to write all this stuff down. So then you're going to say like your best self, right? Like, you have all of these different things. So like you're going to rate yourself 1 to 10 on how you're feeling about each of these aspects of your life. How are things going currently? And then on this side, you're going to put like, what can you do to improve and what are you focusing on? And then you'll set your intentions. So I love this, right? So more of something, less of something, right? So like more, finding healthy coping strategies, less, stress eating at night. Guilty. And then, you know what I'm saying? Or more working out or more drinking water, less stress eating at night. Cause that's what I do. I lay in bed and eat flaming hot Cheetos. And then this talks about visualize the life you want. So this kind of gives you an opportunity. You can either write it out or you can create vision boards. I love vision boards. So you can create a vision board here. And then your dream life. What would my dream life look like in detail? So this gives you an opportunity to like visualize your dream, what your dream life looks like and to describe it in detail. My perfect day. What would my perfect morning, afternoon, and evening routine look like? I don't believe in perfect routines. I just believe in seasons of life. So I guess for my season of life, I could write that down. And honestly, you can always reprint this because this is a printable insert. And then this is me. This talks about what's the legacy that you want to leave behind. What do you want to be known for? Which I think is amazing. That's something wonderful to reflect upon. This is where you would put your word of the year, and then you can reflect on why is it your word of the year. And again, I've shared that my word of the year is create, and it's because the definition of create just resonates with me, is to bring something into existence. So there's a lot of things I want to create this year. And then this is goal ideas and sketch, where you can kind of like picture your optimal future self and start planning goals that help you become that person. So this is kind of like rough draft. What can you do to, create the future self that you're envisioning? And then this gives you an opportunity to break down 8 goals that you can set for the year. What are your yearly goals? Big picture. What do you want to accomplish this year? And then I like the idea of like, okay, we have these goals. Now, what are we focusing on for the month of January? What are we focusing on for February? Like, what are we doing to reach those goals? So I like that. And then you can talk about your quarterly milestones for each of your goals for the year, and then your highlights for the year. And then I love this, the action plan. So you can sit down and you can, based on your number goal, you can write what that goal is. What is your why? What is your reason for wanting to reach that goal? What are the action steps? What is your strategy, challenges, and things of that nature? And then you have a whole dot grid page to make notes on that goal. So I'll probably print multiple of these. And then you have a progress tracker. So I'm going to show you, it's very similar. This right here, it's a little bit, it looks different, but it's very similar to the SM Plan's monthly plan. I don't know that I'll use it because let me get in frame. I do use it in my personal rings. So you guys have seen this if you've watched my flips. Yeah, this is what I've been using for a good portion of 21, and I'm carrying it over into 22. So it's very similar, but if you wanted something like that to just kind of keep in conjunction with your goals, you could. And then here's your reflections, where you can talk about your progress wins, what worked, what didn't work, and what you've learned, what you're grateful for. And, I want to go back to this section here where it talks about your action plan. I think it's important too, to like, how are you going to reward yourself? Or what are, like if you meet a milestone or your strategy is effective, like what is your reward for yourself? And it can be something simple. And then, yeah, your reflection. So that's it. And then the rest of this is like notes pages. I have like this journaling insert from cloth and paper that I've had for a year, never used, but I figured it would be good scratch paper or like good places to put my weekly reflections if I was interested in doing that. And then this miscellaneous divider is honestly serving as the fly leaf. And then you have all these pockets. There's nothing in them now, but, and then I like it has like this leaf zipper pocket. So anyway, that, honestly guys, that was a long video, but, I don't want to just talk about like what's in my planner. I kind of want to, I think it's important to like have systems in place that help you to reach your goals, because, you know, like 2021 was a rough year, I think for a lot of people, but I also was really honed in on like a few goals that I really focused on. And, I met those goals. For example, like applying and being accepted to graduate school, that's been on my goal list for 10 years, and, you know, it's done. I've done it. So, I got in. So now I'm looking forward to graduating, and that will be a goal that I've attained. So that's what I've learned is like, you know, I think 8 goals is a lot to work on simultaneously, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. I highly recommend, like, if you have a goal in mind, like there are some things, like I believe you can do like financial goals simultaneously with other goals. But you can't do everything well. You can't space yourself like out so thin that like you're making zero progress on any of your goals because you're trying to do all of them. So like, for example, this month, my focus is like, you know, healthy routines, workout routines, you know, working towards like, you know, focusing on, you know, really taking care of myself, and my wellness, and then like my finance goals. So yeah, I warned you guys, this was going to be a long video. All right. I'll try my best to link everything down in the description box. If you have any questions, feel free to comment those down below. I'm always happy to answer those. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me during this long and chatty video. I'll see you guys in my next video, and I hope you have a fabulous day.